Vermont Red Pill here. We have had a pretty crazy week, and the week before that was very crazy as well. Let's start with last week. What happened last week? Oh, Alex Jones. It was Alex Jones' sentencing hearing. Alex Jones didn't really get a huge opportunity to represent himself at all. I mean, defending himself was out of the question. There was one moment that was really awesome, and it was basically the very, very biased judge. You should see some of these videos that I've made before about how corrupt our justice system is, how our prestigious law schools are churning out these activist judges and lawyers just like a factory, like a George Soros open society factory. Now these judges and these lawyers, first of all, let's start with the lawyers will sometimes go on to be judges, and the judges go on to be like DAs, and in Merrick Garland's case, the AG, right? The Attorney General. And he's a real winner, that one. Oh man. We dodged a bullet. Thank you to the turtle, Mitch McConnell, for making it so that he's not on the Supreme Court. Can you imagine if Merrick Garland was on the Supreme Court? We'd have a lot of problems. We'd have way more problems than we have right now. And we have a lot of problems right now. So, like I said, lawyer problems, judge problems, DA problems, AG problems. Our whole judicial system needs an overhaul. Maybe not as much as our FBI needs to be disbanded, but it needs an overhaul. We need to be figuring out just what's happening while they're in college. What are they being taught? Are they actually being taught to follow the law, or are they being taught to manipulate and change the laws to what they want them to be? Because the latter is actually what's happening. They're not following the law. Are you paying attention? Are you paying attention to the mainstream media? Are you paying attention to all of the different media outlets, how they lie, how they all somehow, though, have the same story, use the same type of wording, right? So Trump gets raided. Raided. Yeah, because he wasn't home. Nobody told him. He wasn't prepared. Nobody knew. He gets raided. The FBI goes in there. There's 30 agents, according to Eric Trump. 30 agents go rummaging through his stuff, including Melania's closet. Why? I have no idea, but maybe this goes back to like Herbert Hoover, who liked to wear ladies' clothing. So maybe that just like carries on in the industry. I would not be surprised. A lot of these people are lefties, and they probably, you know, the dudes like wearing dresses. Who knows? I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but those aren't your dresses, FBI. Those are Melania's dresses. So hopefully you didn't steal any of those. I do know that they left with lots of boxes, apparently, of classified documents. The president can take these things with him for his presidential library. And the president at any moment can declassify them. So the whole leftist argument that, oh, well, he had classified documents, so that means that they can do anything they want. You know, that search warrant, blah, blah, blah. Where is it? How come Trump doesn't show it? It's not up to Trump to show the search warrant. It's up to the FBI and the DOJ to explain why they did this. If they can do it to Trump, they'll do it to you. If there's any lefties watching this, you need to think. Remember when the FBI was bad. Remember when the government was bad. Remember they were coming after you? Wasn't that long ago, about 20 years ago or so. They were coming after you. You don't remember that? Because you weren't for the Iraq war, right? Okay, so they're no different. They're worse now. They have more power now. There's more of them now. And here we go with the Democrats signing this crazy, crazy bill that's going to give us like 80,000 more IRS agents. Isn't that great? They're not coming after the rich people. They wouldn't need that many people to go after the rich people. They're going after people like you and me. They're going after middle class and below. That's why they need so many agents, because most of us fit in middle class and below. And we can't afford the lawyers to fight. When the IRS comes after you to audit you or say, hey, you owe an extra $1,000, I couldn't afford to fight that. If you weren't, I mean, how often are you prepared for some sort of emergency that's going to take all this money? A lot of money that you've been saving, gone. Why? Because the IRS came after you and said, you owe them $1,000. How do you prove that you don't? You need a lawyer, right? Who can afford lawyers? Who can afford expensive lawyers who are going to cost more than the amount of money that the IRS is saying that you owe? Oh, I'm going to pay my lawyer $1,000, so I don't have to pay the IRS $1,000. Nope, we're just going to eat it. We're going to have to pay it, and that's the way that it is. So lefties, why are you cheering this? Why are you cheering a biased judge shutting down Alex Jones and essentially saying, we want to take him out? I'll see if I can find a clip of that. I don't know if there's a soundbite of that, but if there was, it would go viral. Just like when the judge asked Alex Jones, so you believe in these conspiracies about human trafficking and underage girls? And Alex Jones looks right at the judge and says, like Epstein and the Clintons, all of that. And the judge, I don't know what the judge had to say about that, you know? Oh, speaking of Epstein, the judge who signed off, or the magistrate judge, they signed off on the search warrant that nobody's seen, that may exist or may not exist, who knows? It just makes me think like they came to Mar-a-Lago, right? The FBI comes to Mar-a-Lago, and they're all armed. There's 30 of them. And the one guy shows up to the front, and he's like, yes. And then the FBI guy is like, it's the FBI, we're busting in, bust the door, and shows him the warrant, right? The search warrant. Doesn't give him a copy of it, just shows it to them. It makes me think of like Supernatural, when Sam and Dean would like show up on a crime scene, and you know, they don't work for the police, but they have all these different like fake IDs and sheriff badges and all of that. I think it was like that. I think that the FBI was like, showed it really quick, and then they were allowed to do whatever they want because they're the FBI, right? They pretty much have no rules that they need to follow. I mean, the rules that they're supposed to follow are within the DOJ and the AG, but when you have a corrupt system, they just do whatever they want. If you're a Republican, if you're a conservative, if you're anybody speaking against the system, and I'm telling you lefties, they're going to come after you too. So don't be cheering this. This is wrong. They'll kick in your door. They spent $700,000 on ammunition for IRS agents. Ammunition. They have a criminal department where the IRS agents are armed. What do you think they're going to do? Do you think that they're not going to use those guns to enforce laws on you? Don't be silly. They're coming after us. Look at that bill. There's some really scary stuff in that. Maybe I can make a video breaking down the worst things, but the most important thing right now is the DOJ and the FBI have not explained why they raided Trump's house. The mainstream media is saying, oh, no, it's not a raid. It's not a raid. It's a search because they had a search warrant. So they were just searching. It was a targeted search. They knew what they were looking for. Oh, yeah? What was it? What was it that made you break precedent in the entire history of the United States to bust into a former president's house, take documents, still not give the American public a reason as to why they did this? Because they don't think they need to. Or they need more time to make it up. To make up why. Or plant evidence. Who knows? It is dangerous to... It's dangerous to go after the IRS. It's dangerous to say negative things about the government, especially now, because that just puts me automatically on the audit me list, I assume. But a lot of us are going to be put on that list. And I don't got the money for them, so if they want to audit me, I guess they're going to throw me in jail. Which is probably why they're building a lot more jails. We thought that they were for COVID. No, it's probably going to hold a bunch of people that can't pay their taxes. These are the extra taxes that you'll be paying. Oh, we're not gonna raise taxes. Remember, I think Joe Biden said that. Pretty much any Democrat ever has said that. Actually, I'm not going to just I'm not just going to single out the Democrats. I'm going to say pretty much every politician has said that. Democrats tend to raise prices in a tricky way. Democrats seem to raise taxes in a tricky way, in a way that's not so obvious, like inflation, like Bidenflation. Gotta love that, right? How much money are your favorite products costing you now? How much? How much more? $3 more? $5 more? $10 more? How much? How much does it cost to go to the movies now? How much does it cost to fill your gas tank? I'm not even driving anymore because it's so expensive. Thankfully, I live somewhere where I can walk a lot, but if you don't and you live in a rural area, I can't imagine how much money you're spending on gas, especially to go to work. You know, maybe you're making more money, but essentially you're losing it because inflation is devaluing the dollar. So all that money you have in savings, if you have any in savings, lucky you, but all that money you have in savings, devaluing. So the $400 you had in there, going to buy you about half the stuff that it would have bought you before. Or maybe a third of the stuff that you bought before. I'm not the best at math. I just know everything's going up in price, like at a crazy speed I've never seen before in my whole entire life. I know we Democrats are signing bills that are not going to fix anything. Bernie Sanders actually said on the Senate floor, he said that the help that will be provided for the Inflation Reduction Act will be minimal, will be almost nothing. It won't help at all. So what a lovely flowery name for a bill that's not going to help inflation. This is what Democrats do. They're very good at projection. They're very good at retitling something, maybe even the exact opposite of what the bill actually says. Go back and look at other bills and you'll see the Don't Say Gay bill never said anything about being gay. It said, your teacher at school, do not talk about sexuality to children from kindergarten to 3rd grade. I don't think that's really that hard. But hey, you know what? The left turned it around and said it's the Don't Say Gay bill, even though it never said gay. It just said, all teachers don't talk about sexuality to your children, to your students. It's inappropriate. And I would say most people would agree with that. Maybe not. Maybe this is just a wacky, twisted world that we're living in, you know. But anyway, there's more going on. It's crazy. It's one of the reasons why I haven't left a video in so long. It's just endless. It's one thing after another until like my brain explodes and it's like, what story do I even cover right now? So I'm just checking in with you guys. Primaries went well. We've got like a relatively MAGA kind of guy who's going to be going up for Peter Welch's seat. So I'm really excited about that. Becca Balint driving me absolutely up the wall with her nonstop campaign ads. I know she's got Leahy's money behind her. She's got Welch's money behind her. She worked in Welch's office, so she basically is Peter Welch in lady form. And I know anytime that I'm going to criticize her, they're gonna say like I'm against lesbians or something like that, and it's not like that at all. I could care less. What I do care about is my watching TV viewing pleasure, and being interrupted every 20 minutes for a Becca Balint ad. I want her to lose just for that reason. You know? That's overkill. It's overkill, Becca Balint. Leave me alone now. You got your primary. Please get off my YouTube. And speaking of getting off the YouTube, I'm going to let you guys go. Please hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button if you like what you're hearing. And share the video if there's any information here that you think is interesting enough to share with your peeps. So, thanks again for watching. Everyone on Rumble, please hit the Rumble button. I love you, by the way. I hit 100 subscribers not too long ago, and my heart is just full. It's so full. Thank you so much, you guys. I'll make another video. It'll be a short one. It's just to do like a happy dance. So, all right. I'll see you next time. God bless America. Bye.